Hello, how's it going, everyone? Happy Friday to you. Hopefully, you're all doing well. And yeah, hopefully, made it through the week just fine. Uh, yeah, so what is going on? So let's get into things. By getting into things, we are going to open up browser stuff and get into it. So we're gonna start off with uh, talking about a little bit of Redwood updates and stuff. Why doesn't that close? And so RedwoodJS had a new update. So like clockwork, RedwoodJS team working on updating things, fixing things, all that good stuff, making sure it's the latest and greatest. Super awesome. All right, just trying to get things in order. Get this presented, sharing the screen. All right. So let's hop on over to the RedwoodJS GitHub because that is the best place to look at the releases. So 2 days ago, 4.3.0 came out. And 4.3.0 contained a fix for delete cache keys. Needs to include any global cache prefix. So that's a fix for that. Some doc updates in terms of typos and dependency updates. So if you came across any issues with deleting any cache keys, you are in luck because there is a fix for that. Let's see. I am curious to see to check it out. So when I call cache key, it cannot find the key even though it is the same value passed to cache key. So the code reference, so they're formatting the cache key. So then that was the change for the prefix. Okay, so just super straightforward. And then I just noticed too is that I knew 4.3.0 was out, but I didn't actually know that 4.3.1 went out. Did I just miss that in the RedwoodJS Slack messages? Let's see, announcements. Not announcements, releases. Okay, they just didn't paste it in. So 4.3.0 is out, but no one I guess 4.3.1 is still fresh, so and no one posted on there. But I guess it's the patch release. This release fixes 7.7.5. Web auth and login wasn't prompted after scaffolding DB auth. So love to take a look at this. What's not working? After doing a standard issue DB auth scaffold, and when logging using DB auth, normal username and password works fine, but the prompt for registering the web auth and never shows up. Okay, so this has to do with, I think the web auth in is the biometric like fingerprint stuff. No. Which is, I didn't encounter this because I wasn't, at least when I was setting things up, I didn't set things up with web auth in when we were playing with things. Okay. So that is the updates to the Redwood library, Redwood framework. Better way to put it. So nothing breaking changes and just patches to fix issues. So great. All right. And then so on top of all of that, this past week RedwoodJS on their YouTube channel had their monthly meeting. Their forget what they call it. Redwood Talks. There we go. So Redwood Talks happened just a day ago. They usually announce this. Ooh, excuse me. They usually announce this well in advance, and they offer ways to like sign up for reminders, and this is a nice little thing because it's basically like a meetup talk style thing. And so there was 2 speakers on there. One was Amy Dutton from here at Zeal talking about making a case for the Learn with Redwood, and also talking about design driven development, I believe is the specific, I forget what a comprehensive approach to full stack development. So that was the topic, but also making a case for Learn with Redwood for learning, and because that's how Learn with Redwood is positioned when trying to learn and building an application in Redwood. And then the other interesting thing that there was a talk on was ingest. So ingest is a third-party platform to allow you to do workflows, background jobs, cron jobs easily in a serverless environment. So it is a very interesting. It's very interesting because the way it's set up is it looks like you're just kind of coding things as regular old async functions, but really like they're step functions. So each one, instead of waiting and pausing, it would like call off to another function to go process, and then once that one's done, it would receive it and then continue along its way. I cannot do it enough justice, but I highly recommend checking out the Redwood JS talk for this month. Throwing it in the chat, and I'll just go ahead and post the link up on the page, up on the screen, to look at Amy's talk and also look at ingest. And the cool thing about the work with ingest too is like that there already exists a integration for ingest too. So at the Redwood team, they ended up creating, let's see if I can pull this up. No, that's the docs. So there is a use ingest that works for yoga, that integrates with GraphQL Yoga, is an envelope plugin for GraphQL Yoga, which Redwood uses. So powered by Yoga, such as RedwoodJS. So you can integrate ingest into your Redwood application more easily. So first party, so direct support for RedwoodJS and integrating with ingest. So you don't have to try to figure that out. It's already built out for you. Lots of documentation on how to set things up. So it's very cool. So if you are looking for a solution to do background processing, delayed processing, event-driven systems, this is the best way I can put it right now. Take a look at ingest for your RedwoodJS application and check out the talk on the screen if you want a very detailed description and demonstration of it. So really cool. Alrighty. With that out of the way, comes the time to think about what to do next. So I know we've been kind of kicking around the can about a project to potentially do, and we've been talking about trying to implement OAuth and other stuff like that. So we can try to go through So we can try to go through that and try to start building out an OAuth application. We can try to scaffold up RedwoodJS application with email login. And there was an old application that I was building before that could be interesting and fun to try to do, which was a Pomodoro application to track stats and the like for registering for sessions. So I've been really trying to think about what's this fun little project that we can do to build to build stuff out in. And I haven't I haven't came up with a direct solution or direct idea yet. So unless someone has an idea of something that we could try to figure out, build out, and we can flesh out for the upcoming streams, more than welcome to provide any feedback or commentary, what you would like to see. But I think for now, maybe we could try to get back into figuring out how to set up an OAuth flow for RedwoodJS and Twitch. So we can try that. So while I get things set up, what I'm going to do is actually, I could probably show this, but then do this. Oh, that just does that. Okay. Well, that's not fun. Let's do this. So I'm going to quickly try to just set up my environment so that we can get things rolling. Oh, you know what I'm probably going to have to do? I'm going to have to kill one of my sessions. Oh, it looks like we already have. Looks like we already tried a scaffold one already. A Redwood Pomodoro app. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch directories. And okay. Do all right. So we're going to take the naive approach for everything. And we're going to start from scratch in terms of scaffolding up from the tutorial and getting things going from there. So we'll do that, do this, and make sure everything flows perfectly fine. All right. I'm not comfortable with TypeScript yet, so we're going to force myself onto TypeScript. And we'll see where we can get in the next hour of work. So let's go ahead and scaffold that up. And this is going to take a little bit. I think for simplicity's sake and for environment configuration, I am going to avoid setting up Postgres and just keep with the default configuration of SQLite. so it's easy for people to, you know, kind of follow along and set things up. After we get this scaffolded up and ready to go, what we're going to do next is we're going to then we'll update. Yeah, so we'll run the dev commands, make sure everything's up and running. Nice. Looks like I have to, we'll go ahead and install. It looks like we are out of date with, we need to upgrade our node version. So we'll be doing that in a minute. So we'll go ahead and run the installs and stuff like that. And then we'll upgrade node to latest, or LTS is what we'll do. Looks like I have a message. Someone's messaging me, so I gotta respond. Okay, looks like, so the longest part is yarn install. We're probably gonna have to go to this yarn install step again because we're gonna reinstall node, or we're gonna switch to a newer node version, and then run yarn install again. Do, 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 do. Close this. Oh wow, it's taking a long little bit. Let's see, what could I do to optimize things? Let's start closing some applications that don't need to be open. Okay. Let's follow the instructions. All right, what I will need to do is I'll need to do nvm use lt. I think I installed LTS. Nvm install LT. I thought I installed LTS. Oh wait, maybe that's not how you do it then. Okay, cool. Because there's an nvmrc in the project, it does it for us. Nice. Do, 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 do. Okay, so yarn install, sorry. Trying to put people on the side. Okay. Alrighty. What I'm going to do now is just for being a glutton for punishment, I am going to use Vim for a little while we set things up here. Whoops, I forgot that it does that. All right, so what I want to do is we want to get to the DB schema because I want to disable. I want to remove the current scaffolding. So all of this. Let's see. Okay. So we're just gonna stick with SQLite for now because we're just gonna go bare bones. Although SQLite is starting to get more popular for, starting to get some love in terms of deployments instead of using Postgres actually in production, which is interesting. I've been keeping a little eye on that. Okay, let's just make sure that our app is good to go. I don't want it to open up. I don't want it to open up my browser window. So let's see if we can address that. I think it's in the Redwood toml that we can tell it to not do that. Thank you very much. There we go. Redwood is running. Great. Alrighty, there's nothing to migrate right now because we don't have any posts to show. Let's go ahead and set up Storybook. So we're going to scaffold up Storybook. We're going to add in, we're also going to be adding in Tailwind. I think it's setup UI, Tailwind CSS, but we'll run the help command to see what UI libraries or styling libraries we can use. I had to respond to someone real quick. I thought I told it to not open the browser. Okay, whatever. It opened up here on the side. But Storybook is running. Let's take a look at Storybook. So, localhost 3910. And then we don't have anything in here, so that makes sense. Let's run the UI library command to see. So if we were to install any styling libraries, yeah, so we're going to be using Tailwind CSS. Windy, I found out recently. I didn't actually know about Windy or didn't pay enough attention. And Windy CSS is supposed to be a lighter weight, at least the way it was advertised to the thing I was reading was that it was a lighter weight Tailwind. On-demand alternative to Tailwind. So that's interesting. So part of me is a little curious about trying out Windy, but let's stick with Tailwind because I know Tailwind. Or I'm familiar with Tailwind. Let's not throw too many obstacles in my way. Oops. Yarn Redwood setup. See, did we save this TOML file? We did. Can I like not? Can I close this? Yeah, I can. Okay. Great. So we're gonna have that set up, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna go ahead and scaffold up the authentication part next. And by default, we will use the standard standard authentication workflow, so self-hosted DB auth by default, with the idea of also implementing OAuth login flow too shortly. So let's go ahead and run that command next. So we set up the DB auth. We're going to be, I believe it's going to be at it. So enable auth and support. Nah, let's not do auth in. So we should be getting a user model in. So this is the part we're gonna have to do. And then we'll scaffold up the login flow stuff. Okay, so let's see. What does this? All right, so what does it say? So you'll need to add a couple of fields to user table. So let's go ahead and hop over to our user table. So it would be the schema Prisma. So we don't have a user table yet. So this is our user example. So we'll go ahead and do this. So we're gonna have ID, we're gonna have our email, which we're gonna do unique on. Do we care about the name right now? No, let's not care about a name. And then we need to add these selected fields. So let's go ahead and we'll just copy and paste. And then what we'll do is we'll go down and delete those like that. Alrighty, and I think this mirrors this. Yeah, so in case we have default, this is the first time we're going to be scaffolding this, so we don't have to worry about setting defaults. But the fields you're using for your user's ID and username fields, in the case we're using ID and email, so update those in the auth fields in the phone. Okay, so let's take a look. So we got to hop over to our API source function auth. So that's what we want. And let's see, try to remember how to. Okay, that just opened up in a new file, new window. That's fine. This is my first time using Lunar Vim, so the keybinds are completely different than what I'm used to versus other stuff. Okay, so let's auth fields. So ID, username is going to be their email address, and sure, why not? Hash password, salt reset token. Yeah, so we are keeping the email, so we'll keep that as the username. To get the actual user that's logged in, take a look at. So nothing changes here. I don't think anything changes here relative to. Oh man, I thought I was just gonna close that window. So we were looking at auth.js. Huh. Why is it not finding That's weird. Oops. I need to figure out that setting so it doesn't do that. API source. So let's see. So then we need to hop over to source lib auth over here. To get an actual user that's logged in, take a look at the get current user in the auth notice. We default it to do something simple, but you may use different name. You may use different names for your model or unique ID fields, which in case you'll need to update those, calls to instructions are a comment above the code. So let's go find the get current user. There it is. So here we go. We check the session. We check the session ID. So we started inside the session has the ID in there, and then we throw an invalid. If not, it tries to query against the DB model. So right now the DB user doesn't exist in Prisma client because we haven't run the scaffolding yet, which is fine. Fine, we create. So this all work. I think this is fine for now. Okay. Fine, we create a session secret environment for this value should not be checked into version control. Yeah, so let's go through. Let's do that. Let's do that step. This is only for our environment, so no biggie for stuff. All right, so I guess I don't know how to display. Oh wait, maybe there we go. Oh, the session secret's already generated for us. Okay. Shrug. And then what we need to do next is we need to run migrations from, I always forget this command. It is yarn row to Prisma. Yarn Redwood. Cool, so that should have probably generated the user, I think. Maybe? Yeah, we'll see. Well, we have a lot of stuff, so. Okay, so let's generate our UI elements to enable us to do this. What would you like the username label to be? Username, password. No WebAuthn. So you'll need to tell your pages where to redirect after the user has logged in. Has logged in, sign up, or reset their password. Look for the login page, sign up page, forgot password page, and reset page for these lines. If authenticated, navigate to routes home. So we will need to hop over to, not the API, but we will need to go into the website of things. Go to the pages. And is authenticated routes home. What does our current web app do? I forgot it's yarn redwood dev. I'm just so used to typing in yarn dev. It actually didn't open up the browser this time. Great. So we have our routes now. Let's generate a home page. as our next thing. Let's see. There is supposed to be a way for me to pull up the terminal in LunarVim. Close that, docs that, keybind this. There we go. Are we on the right version of Node? We are not. Interesting. When we open up the terminal, it does it within the context of where the file is. Okay, great. All right. We have opened up that. And we should, and in turn, we should have a new homepage. Oops. Pomodoro. Hello. Oh. All right. Let's get rid of that. So now that we have a home page, for the forgot password, let's see, what do we say? What happens? Routes home. So we have a home page, it routes home. So we're good on that. Nice. So we're almost all set up. We have a home page, we have the app running, we have login flow, we have a user sign up login flow. Let's see. Let's go ahead and run tests in the meantime. So this, and then is it yarn redwood test? That's what I thought. We currently have some logic that we need to implement. So we have the skip auth test. Let's see. So require so the require auth test.ts is one we need to take a look at. So require auth test ts. So this one right here. Oh, did I open up something? Yeah, I did. Okay. Sure, VLC, you can go ahead and update. So require all test TS. So require auth. Oh, things are. Things are getting weird. Yeah, this. I think when I try to like click on this, it redirected to the wrong. Okay. I guess I did something weird to my environment. And I don't know. I don't know what. All right, let's see. Let's try this again. Weird. Do not know what's going on. Maybe we had a little bit too much fun in Vim. We gotta go back to basics. Okay. Let's restart a terminal session. Oh, do I not have do I not have insiders installed? Oh, because it got uninstalled. That's right. Okay. All right, things are being very weird right now, so I am going to hide my screen. Okay, so we just did that. All right, we're getting close to the end of the stream today. So this might just end up being our stopping point anyway. Let's go ahead and switch to my JavaScript profile. Ooh, it's huge. And what we'll do is we will do a commit. So we scaffold up the, create app, set up auth, generate pages. So a good number of things we did all at once. And we'll commit that. So I think that's definitely our stopping point for today. And starting, so on next week, next Friday, we'll do the same thing. So we'll cover the news, discuss anything that's new that I know with Redwood. If you want me to talk about anything, you see anything cool, just go ahead and reach out to me. You can send me a tweet at Talk to Me Goosen right here on the screen to talk about. If you have any ideas of things to build, let me know. Otherwise, we are going to continue with this little Pomodoro up and see how far we go with it. So I hope you have a good rest of your day and you have a great weekend. And I will catch you next time. All right. Peace.